What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 19 of my Total Warhammer 3 Drycha Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Durthu and ACCA both continue their respective rampages. Durthu in the destruction of, the Golden Order now that they've confederated Vissenland, and ACCA in destroying Zufbar, and is now moving back to hopefully defeat Skarsnik, and also, what's in his wa? We can't see what's in his wa. Should be an interesting fight here, and of course we want to raise Mount Gunbad, which should be worth quite a lot of money. We got a little bit of richer last episode at ACCA now, but we're also losing 2.6k per turn because we are recruiting more and more armies. Hopefully we'll get our Elf army and our Air Force army up relatively soon, and we'll be able to send them out to do their things. We're also drawing close to the activation of the Jungles of Qian ritual. It's at 88 of healing, forest health rather, so that's quite nice. 30% reduction, can't wait for it on the forest spirits. Now in terms of what we gotta do this turn, I don't believe that there's all that much. Colas, you're probably just gonna have to stay here, but I mean, there's not much we can do with you here. Maybe we could start recruiting some elves for you, but I mean, I suppose what we could do is build the first elf building here and have Colas start building his elf army in the Gaian Vale rather than having him move somewhere, and move Durthu, at least temporarily, out to the Jungles of Qian for the ritual, while Drycha continues doing what she's doing here around the Haunted Forest. Maybe that's the way to go. We shall see, but we won't see this turn because we're about to end the turn. So, skip the rest of that. Building upgrade available, yes. Don't care about any of that right now, as I recall. Just double checking whether anything has to go to Vlad here, and I'm not sure that it does. I also fully expect that the clan Molder Skaven will be declaring war on us relatively soon. It seems like they've done pretty well for themselves up here, especially since we destroyed Kislev, and that will also mean probably quite a few of the Forces of Chaos factions coming down and attacking us. I suppose we could always send Tala up there to sort of erase Molder's stuff. That's certainly an option. Oh, damn. Lothar might also be able to get through Adagig here and go through Talabheim and then annoy us some more. Well, we might need another army in this area, interestingly enough. But anyway, let's end the turn. Let's see what we've got coming to us. Drycha's got Supervisor, so she's got that extra campaign movement range, which is quite nice. And does she have the thing that gives her perfect vigor and even more campaign movement range? I don't remember the name of the skill, but it's the one where you're in... Actually, wait, spent multiple turns in March Stance? I thought that one also was that thing. I guess we'll see. And we'll see when and if and when she gets it. There we go. It looks like we're at the next turn. Hawkland is now fighting the Fecondites, but that is certainly not our problem. It looks like the Moot is still ready for being taken. Hopefully Vlad doesn't instantly get it next turn. I'm almost tempted to use some of our allegiance to tell him to attack here. I doubt that he'd do it, but it would be beneficial for us if he did, and if he left the Moot to us. He doesn't seem to be going for it, but the thing is, his army doesn't seem to be going in any direction right now, which is what has me concerned. Can we reach the Moot in 2 bounds? I'd rather stay in our own allied territory and continue healing. Actually, you know what? Stay in March Stance, but go as close to the Moot while in friendly territory as you can. Hopefully there isn't a full stack at Aberheim that'll attack us immediately. No, it doesn't look like it. Alrighty, well, let's risk it. Vlad, hopefully he don't go for it. Alrighty, now, what do we have up here? Oh, look at that. Man, so... we saw that Skarsnik was here. He was about to attack Nashrak's lair. We traded Nashrak's lair to Skarsnik. Or rather, to Vlad. And Skarsnik is still at war with Vlad, but instead of going for the thing he was right beside, he's going to ignore it, and he's going to go for Khazid Irkulaz instead. This is another perfect example of how the AI just absolutely favors attacking the player when it's absolutely nonsensical. It literally wasted all this time going here, is at war with the faction, and doesn't go for it. That's pretty funny, but we can also trade Khazid Irkulaz to Vlad. I mean, why not? There you go, Vlad. I'm not gonna ask you for money, you need your own money. Let's keep giving you stuff. And there we go, and... oh damn, I should have actually done that earlier. No chance. Because Khazid Irkulaz is a settlement capital. Oh well, too bad. Should have done it last turn. Because then it would have had walls and some units and would have and distracted Skarsnik, but what can you do? Now, you, my friend, there is nobody sitting in Mount Gunbat, so you're just gonna jump over. Ooh, wait. Wait. Technically Fallen King Mountain is bordering the place, so do we raise it for less money? It's plus 50%. We could let this be worth more. It's not like we need the money right now. We can always go after Skarsnik first. Yeah, fine. You know what? Screw it. We're going after Skarsnik. You go here, actually via world routes, so that you don't suffer so much attrition. Ooh, although will you be able to reach this in one round? At least this way you actually cannot be in our own territory. Well, let's just hope that you can reach it. Maybe Skarsnik will come back, seeing that ACCA is here ready to attack. I suppose we could also jump down and attack the Desolation of Drake and more Howling Rock, and I presume other territories down there. Alrighty. Now, this also might mean that we're accidentally, inadvertently helping the dwarves, but... well, I guess you gotta take the bad with the good. Drycha, you cannot reach Mount Thug. Unfortunately. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into ambush stance, and I want you to go right here. And just to figure out where there are enemy stacks, if there are any, and I'm not actually seeing any. Alright, so you're free to hit Mount Thug next turn then. Go here. You, Dulcith, take Knobbly Gorge for us, please. Colonize it. Lovely, and then we'll obviously build it up and then get it to get extra growth for the Haunted Forest. And then you're gonna do the same thing at Mount Thug and whatever else we can reach. Looks like the ogres are still in fairly large numbers up here, and you know what? We could try to turn the northern provinces against the ogres as well. Are they not at war with them? Oh yeah, there we go. Gold Tooth. 0.7, that's gonna cost us 3k. Go for it, it's fine. Keep increasing the relationship and increasing the likelihood of various types of agreements with the Cathians. And now that we're all in on being friendly with the Cathians, we might as well continue in that light. 92, certainly 2 more turns, I believe. And we gotta get down there. We gotta get down there and activate that ritual ASAP. Well, ACCA can't do it. Tala might be able to do it. He could go up to Griffin Wood, but this place is kind of busy right now. And if we abandon the moot, most likely somebody else will take it. I still think it's probably Durthu's. It's up to Durthu to do this. Speaking of Durthu, how much would this be? Ooh. Right, Balthazar Gelt is here. Now, it's gonna probably cost us, but perhaps what we do is we send Durthu to Wissenberg. And just to get the defeated Balthazar Gelt trade, which I don't believe he has. Granted, it's not super useful for Durthu in particular, as the 6 armor isn't going to make much of a difference on Treemen or Treekin, but nonetheless, it's not a bad thing to have. Alright, to Wissenberg we go then. Directly, let's also level up before we do so. Plus, it would be nice to see Durthu knock Balthazar Gelt around a little bit. Let's get you Ancient Enmity and then start moving through to Ward Bark at the very least. We were planning to do it last time, but there were wonders of the forest to get. You keep leveling. You are going to be transferred to the Air Force, though. I gotta remember that. I guess we get you regrowth? Yeah, let's get your regrowth. At least 1 point in it. And then the Waystalker, you are also going to be transferred, but to the Elven Force rather than the Aerial Force. The Aerial Force will not have Waystalkers but Glade Captains because they can have aerial mounts, unless I'm mistaken. And you can have Tempered Rigor. And there you go. Ooh, wait, but... and if we were to put you in an Air Force, you would be able to give the Sight Beyond... no, but it's a short effect range. I guess reload time reduction during forest battles might help, but... yeah... these guys just seem inferior to something like a Skaven Warlock Engineer, so meh. Let's get Enchanted Photosynthesis for you, Isristot. And this is Replenish Troops Increase and Regeneration for you, which is nice. And I guess we could get a level of Howl of the Forest. We could also go through Evasion to Regrowth and Dwellers Below, but for now we already have it, so not a huge deal. I think the 1 point in Call of the Woods is probably worth our time. Alrighty, now, Durthu. To Wissenberg you go. Now let's take out Gelty. And not feel guilty about it. And I honestly don't think we really need to fight this cinematically, but on the other hand, there's no guarantee that we find a better battle in this episode. It really depends on whether we chase Skarsnik down. Let's see. Wait, I just want to see how far Skarsnik is. I'd rather save the cinematics for battles that aren't ludicrously easy. He's still quite far, and if he keeps moving up north, there's no guarantee that we catch him. Alright, screw it. I guess we're fighting this one cinematically. Maybe we can get Balthazar Gelt to actually fight Durthu, although I wouldn't hold my breath. He'd be probably too scared. And it does say Pyrrhic victory, so we can't auto-resolve it either way, as too much casualties. So, let's get to it. Alrighty, I imagine we can do this one pretty darn quick. We are going to start off this time actually deployed behind the main enemy army. As we can see, their mortars are firing forward, where we have a smaller contingent deployed, but we're essentially going to crush the main enemy force between our two forces. Of course, most of our stuff, including Durthu and all the best stuff, is in the main one, and then perhaps the enemy will hit us in the back, but I imagine we should be able to do most of the damage that's necessary before they actually get here. But let's find out. Alright, it looks like a lot of range fire hitting Durthu, who's going to go off the path a little bit to go after the Empire captain there. We're going to keep taking lots and lots of Searing Dooms and Gehenna's Golden Hounds from Mr. Gelt, who's just going to hover up on high rather than actually going down to fight Durthu. Probably a good choice and not unexpected, as he wouldn't have any kind of chance in melee. Another Searing Doom, and these are really going to hurt our Dryads, but once again, we don't particularly care about their survival. And there's that Gehenna's Golden Hounds coming in, though, let's see, oh, of course, no, okay, no, we're good. It looks like they're going to move away rather than into our formations as well. Looks pretty good to me. And now our second army has arrived, and where the enemy are running, they're going to run into additional forces of ours. The Dryads should also be fast enough to chase down any enemy archers that run away, or crossbows rather. Or archers and crossbows, depending on what's actually in here. It's quite inconsequential. Well, these are crossbows, though they will be just bloody spots on the ground soon, and then not for long either, as I assume we nourish the trees with said blood. And there we go, looks like the first of the armies is pretty much done for, and we are going to immediately switch to the second. The Gehenna's Golden Hounds actually look like they're moving into the enemy formation here, and that's on top of the spells that Durthu was casting down. I feel like Gelt just killed more of his own forces with magic than he has ours this entire battle so far. Oh, I love that root crush with the foot thing that the tree men do. It's such a good animation. Alrighty, and our two tree men are working together. And just to kill off the rest of these units, not that there is too many remaining. The balance of power is very, very much in our favor, as small reinforcing army is arriving, just the Arch-Lector by himself, but he may come to see that basically the entire enemy army is gone by the time he gets there. Gelt still refuses to land, unfortunately, but he will either have to land or rout at some point. The Greatswords, however, are doing a pretty good job holding. These ones are shaken, but they have been fighting this entire time with lots of units at the same time, and on top of that have gotten themselves 47 kills. There's been a little bit of a duel going on here between Dryads and Greatswords, and as we can see, the Dryads are losing to them one-on-one. Not super surprising, of course. It's a tier 1 unit facing off against a tier 2, and I guess they don't have nearly the buffs under Durthu and that they have under Drycha, and they're not the malevolent variety either. But that's okay, we can simply move them out and send some Treekin in to destroy the rest of the Greatswords. Granted, they're still armor-piercing, but I doubt that they're going to be able to deal with the unit of Treekin, malevolent or otherwise. There we go. This guy could, like, drown in, like, an inch of water there. I doubt that he'd be able to get back up in all that armor. Alrighty, looks like Gelt's going to drop down some Searing Doom on our Treekin, but that of course does really nothing. There's still a few enemy units that are fighting. Gelt's still flying around, but the battle should be just about over. Durthu and his tree man are both distracting a single unit of enemy range, just so that they don't continue firing. And it looks like these guys are routing, those that aren't flying anyway. And there we go, I do believe that should be the chain route, or is it just the range units? Looks like this unit of swordsmen is actually coming back, and so is this unit of spears. I guess maybe with the arrival of the Archlector, and they want to fight. Said Archlector, of course, is now also getting surrounded by trees. And this is probably not a place he wants to be, is also unable to get out of that considering the mass of the Treekin is pretty darn good. They're pretty decent at trapping things when they actually manage to surround them from every direction. I suppose he could try to break through this pile of Dryads, but there is a lot of Dryads in there, and they will bring him down. He's got 0 kills to his name so far as well. Let's see who else is fighting here. Gelt's still flying around. We've actually been taking shots at him for the entire battle with our Waystalker, who's almost out of ammunition. He's only dealt less than half damage to Gelt. It's a little bit unfortunate. I would have thought that he'd be a little bit more effective as a sniper, but apparently not so much. Almost makes it seem not worth it to use these heroes. I mean, Gelt is not that strong in terms of his armor, or, well, I guess he does have 55% missile resistance. Maybe that's what's causing this. But still, try a little harder there, Waystalker. Anyway, you may not have tried hard enough, but the rest of our army certainly did, and Gelt's army is now gone for good. We're going to give chase to nothing, because the vast majority of things here are the garrison and the army that was belonging to Gelt that was in the city. I think this is the only unit, that Lord, that Archlector was the only unit that we actually had to kill because he was outside the settlement, but otherwise everybody's dead, and we got ourselves that little armor Gelt buff. Alrighty, not too difficult. A little bit of damage to a couple of our Dryad units trying to one-on-one those great swords, but that's okay. Not a big deal, not what the Dryads are for, and once again we are going to replace all of these regular non-malevolent ones. Anyway, we unfortunately didn't get to fight Gelt, but nah, what can you do? The sack or raise value is actually pretty good here, so raise the place. And hopefully walk back this way. There we go, +6 armor. Yeah, this would really be useful for, like, Tala, so hopefully Tala can get a, or actually, yeah, Tala would be good, ACCA would be good, even Drycha would be good. Really, anybody but Durthu would really use that particular buff, but oh well, what can you do? Alrighty, now, it looks like ooh, I had an idea. What if we leave Durthu out here, but send Daemonhunters to the Jungles of Qian Ritual? Granted, he's a little bit incomplete army-wise. This is just supposed to be Durthu's retrofit, but 4 treemen, what's the likelihood that any ritual force actually could destroy 4 treemen? Seems not super likely to me. I think he can pull it off. Well, at least I hope so. I guess we'll find out. Drycha, you are good now. ACCA is good. Let's see who else needs to move, and then end the turn. Colas, just stay where you are, man. Stay where you are until Gaian Vale is ready to go. We also got 1 turn until that World Roots cooldown, so I guess we gotta move next turn. It's the only way. Okay. And I believe that's it, unless there's buildings to build. Griffinwood? Ah, yes, there actually is buildings to build. Let's get that winery up and running, more money. Waterfall Palace, we will want Wildwood Rangers later, and War Dancers, but not in any of the 2 armies we're about to build. Yeah, we'll leave those alone for now. Jungles of Qian is ready to get upgraded to the next level, which I guess we could do. More defenses if somebody, in the extremely unlikely event, I guess, that somebody actually comes down here. Fine. Do it. Do it. It's expensive, but on the other hand, once again, we are pretty good expense-wise. And this thing allows us to build forest dragons here without getting the tier 5 building. Well, that's actually quite nice. That's actually... That is actually quite useful, much more so than I was originally thinking, because... Dare talk... You're going to be our Air Force guy, and if you're going to be our Air Force guy, you might as well have a couple of Forest Dragons. Though I suppose the expense would be pretty insane. Maybe at least one Forest Dragon to lead the Air Force for now, but we could always bump that up later on. I don't want to be at like minus 5k per turn or something silly like that. At least not yet. Anybody else need an upgrade or a building built? Jungles of Cheon, you're still pretty good. Waterfall Palace, I think the only issue with you is that you don't have the Azure lookout or the forest lookout, which may be an issue just by virtue of the fact that it is going to be a little bit easier to attack you. Maybe we'll build that afterwards as well. Really don't want to be losing any of these places. Besides, we don't really need all the elven things everywhere. Griffinwood does also not have... No, actually it does have it, it's right there, never mind. Griffinwood is probably the one that's the least likely to get taken over by something, but we still have to watch the places, as a good full stack might still threaten these. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty, well I believe that's another end turn. Outpost upgrade available in Wagen. Yeah, why not? Why not? And I believe that's it now. Ooh, let's quickly check diplomacy though, just in case. Carcassonne still wants to be friends, and I'm still not sure about it. And I believe that's the only thing. We do, however, have a mission from the Burning Wind Nomads. Ally missions, kill Crom Soulflare. I don't know who that is. I don't know whether we'll get to him, but we might as well accept the mission just because we have it. Maybe he'll come down and try something with Drycha. Alrighty, Drycha to Mount Thug, you go next, and I would love it if an ogre army actually came down here to try to defend. Ah, there it is. We've been expecting this for a while. Okay. Molder's gonna attack us, which means they're gonna start coming down immediately. Yeah, we can't have Tala leave. He's too busy. Kemmler, you're gonna declare war on us? Okay. Durthu's nearby, so I'm not sure that that's a good idea, buddy. And it's kind of ironic considering he was kind of liking us for a while, but, well, whatever. Vlad can have his stuff, or confederate him once he gets too weak. We'll see. Scheme of Doom performed for Clan Molder. Oh, I don't like that. Wait, what if a Doom Engineer earthquakes our, Griffin Wood? That would be kind of unfortunate. Ally begins outpost construction. Kurnus the Hunter is now being researched. We don't really care about the Hoeth thing, at least not right now. Diplomatic relations with Talzin. Don't care about that because we're about to attack them. Now, yes, Moot has not been taken, which means we're going to grab it with Tala here. And colonize it. And I just want to see, does this give us a special territory, or special building? Let's see, resource cattle. No, it doesn't. Oh, that's surprising. Huh. Really? What about this? Is it just a regular Azure lookout? Yeah, it's just a regular Azure lookout. Oh, wait, so basically everybody but us gets a special building at the moment? Well, I guess we just give it to Vlad then. Let's repair it, and then we'll send Tala up north to deal with some Skaven. They'll probably take a few territories, although maybe they'll stop on by Zavastra first, so that might delay them some. I don't want to build another army there because we already have enough. And what's this, Skarsnik? Are you moving south again? It looks like he's moving south again, and that's pretty funny. I guess he sees that we might be attacking Mount Gunbad. Well, let's take Fallen King Mountain then. We'll heal up there, and we'll see if we can't meet Skarsnik in battle with his dual stacks now that he has that WA maxed out.
Something wrong with your head?
Let's see what I just want to see what this says here. Answering call to WA, mobs are flocking to this army. The type of units that join it depend on location or faction leader. I imagine there's a lot of goblins there, but that might mean there are Ragnaroks and certainly potential for it. And we'll see. We'll see. We do have a lot of anti-large here, but once again, this army still needs some Treekin in it rather than Dryads. which is, well, I guess we can't use Skin of the Woods until we get that. Now, in terms of what your upgrades are needed, you have Arcane Conduit. Maybe we start, yeah, let's go through Tempered Vigor, keep making you a deadlier fighter to get you Deadly Onslaught. Yes, alright. Drycha, your turn. To mount Thug, you go. Are you maxed out in Wonders of the Forest? Yes, you are, so you're fine. Go here. The problem with the Ogre territories is that I think they're not really that worth it. Yeah, Clear Heathland is only 2.7k, but whatever. It's free healing points. Scepter of Stability, yada yada yada, and then we will send Dalsith up here. Or we could just leave this one as a ruin. You know what? I think we actually leave this one as a ruin. And the reason for that is that if we don't have it as a ruin, these guys will most likely come down to retake it, which I'm not sure that we want to bother with. And look at the sack value on all these Ogre territories. It's not worth our time. I wonder if the sack value... Ah, there we go. Oh my. Wait, if the sack value on Dreadrock is 13k, the raise value is probably 20 to 30k. Oh, this is nice. Okay, Drycha, you have places to be. That's for sure. Also, what's the healing here? 27. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alrighty. Now, anybody else? Drycha, Akka, Tala, Durthu. You can move again. And... what? Are you... oh, you have to cross the river? Oh, that's dumb. That is dumb. He raised it and went this way rather than this way. I guess we jump over. We can't go back here. Alright. Well, if that's the way we gotta do it, that's the way we gotta do it. I wonder how much Fyldorf is worth. 6.2k, 3.4k, because if Durthu's stuck here for a while, I mean, might as well raise some more stuff. We could actually advance to Averheim instead, because this is bordering... this is bordering these guys. The only problem with that is that if the forces of Kemmler come down... and look at his balance of power. Why would you declare war on us? What is wrong with you, man? Why? Why? You're just gonna get yourself killed. But anyway, you, my friend, have places to be. So, you are going to go to the Deep Roots. And you are going to deep root yourself down to the jungles. Yes, Jungles of Qian, and then next turn. Yes. Alrighty, and then we got 3 turn cooldown on it. Huh. Alright, well that's fine. That's not too bad. You should be able to get back to Durthu fairly quickly. And then stay here. Can you recruit anything? Huh, you can recruit more malevolent trees if you want. It's not like you're doing anything here. Also recruit Great Eagles and Hawks, but that's from Paravon, which you will be going back to. And oh, look, we got more Great Hawks here. Yeah, okay, we'll raise them next turn. I don't want to pay for them right now, but let's get more Malevolent Trees. I'd like to have this army really ready to go. And ooh, wait, have the Blessed Dread been destroyed? They had a settlement here, but they no longer have a settlement there. It does look like the Jiangxi rebels have advanced, though. I'm hoping that the northern or western provinces can take them out. Looks like there's still a war going on between the Lizards and the Burning Wind Nomads as well. I'm just really hoping that these guys don't come down here. We could also force a military access with the Burning Wind Nomad, or a military agreement rather with the Burning Wind Nomads, and by giving them these territories, but that would really piss off the Lizards. I guess we'll have to see. Alrighty, well, who else needs to move? Durthu. Yes, alrighty, fine. If you can't go this way, you can go down to Averheim. Let us, I think, world roots you. It'll send you far enough, I hope, to reach Averheim. Yeah, by the looks of it. Alright. And we'll take Averheim out and give it to Vlad. Though, now that I'm thinking, I'm a little bit disinclined to completely destroy the faction, once again, just so that we can farm the armor trade, and honestly, Vlad's armies could probably use the armor trade as well. So we could leave Averheim, let these guys recover a little bit. Now, of course, that would be a little bit problematic for Vlad. On the other hand, we could just go for Dotternbach, take it out, raise it, and then jump up here and then go and deal with the Barrow Legion. Does look like Blackstone Post is probably going to be worth a lot. And we do have to return to Waterfall Palace anyway for when we buff up our army and then start attacking the Azrai here. Alrighty, fine. Durthu, you can always wander back this way, so let's go for Donnenbach instead. And I guess the way to do it is... Ah, we can't go into a camp stance and cross the river? Oh, well. Oh, well, you're gonna go here. You could go for Fildorf. The only problem is that we can't trade it to anybody then. You know what, just jump here. You're not so badly hurt that either of these battles would probably matter all that much to you, so it doesn't really matter who you go for. Colas, you're stuck as you are for a while yet. Adulsith, you are going to... Well, I guess you have to follow Drycha, so go into ambush stance and be beside Drycha. Just far enough away from any enemy that can reach you, essentially. There you go. We don't actually really care if he dies either. Let's also get the extra growth, foraging groves for the haunted forests, and presuming that we have nothing to upgrade, that's another end turn while we continue seeking Skarsnik. Also, Waterfall Palace, we would be able to upgrade the Eternal Watcher's garrison, and I think it might be worth our time here. Yeah, we could keep waiting for the winery, but another 100 gold. Does it matter that much? And again, I suppose that the difference here isn't all that much either, though I do like the upkeep reduction. Nah, I'll hold off on it for now. Jungles of Cheon, you're kind of in the same situation where we're just waiting for growth, and Griffinwood, you've already upgraded this, so you're good. Alrighty, that sounds like an end turn to me. Building upgrade available, outpost upgrade available, yes. We'll get all those outposts going. And where could we get attacked, possibly? Anywhere we could get attacked? I mean, I guess this guy might come down here, but yeah, I don't think so. Alright, let's just end the turn. Let's see if Skarsnik comes down. Alright, come on, Skarsnik. I'm itching for this fight. 2 full stacks for ACCA to take down. I've grown both very fond of and very trusting in ACCA's capabilities at this point. He's destroyed some damn nice armies. Ah, yes, Skarsnik. Good. Come down here, please. And I think, judging by the fact that he has a Wa, he's probably actually willing to fight ACCA. So if we move down there, he will go for us. Bokbok's gonna declare war on us, that is fine. The more factions he declares war on, or they declare war on, the more our friends all are fighting the same stuff, which is good. Oh, damn, confederation between the northern provinces and the Imperial Wardens. I wasn't expecting that right now. And it's a little bit unfortunate because we lose our outposts. Oh, look. Blessed Dread are gone. Ritual of Rebirth available, yes, but we wanted to get the agreement with these guys, which is now less likely. Damn. Would you attack the Jiangxi rebels? What if we attack the Kazakh? Oh, you want to... Ooh, wait. What if we join your war against the Kazakh, but also ask for a military agreement? 15k, or a defensive agreement, rather. We are getting friendlier and friendlier. How much would this cost? 4k. That's not so steep. Ooh, Clan Molder. 2.2. Barrel Legion 0.4. And just be friendlier with these guys. Alright, let's go Jiangxi Rebels and Clan Molder. 6k, eh? Or we could just counteract that by joining the war against the Kazakh, but if that makes the defensive alliance more likely later on, maybe we hold off on that and just pay them money right now. Go. Alright, lovely. If there were more trees up here, I'd care more about actually fighting these guys, but not currently. Alrighty, time for our second ritual, the Ritual of Rebirth of the Jungles of Cheon. Daertok, you should have more than enough units to fight it, but let's also get you 2 more Hawks, because this is your Air Force. Or, well, it's the beginnings of your Air Force, I should say. We can also get the Oak upgrades for all of these guys while we're at it. Why not? Aspect of the oak for you. We could always switch these guys later on, but yeah. Lovely. And a ritualing we shall go. Perform ritual. Enemies muster. The enemy forces begin to muster here. The enemy forces begin to muster here. And Ritual of Rebirth begins. And this looks like it's the same... No, it's actually a different text. The Ritual of Rebirth has been successfully initiated in this region. Once the jungles of Cheon are fully healed by the ritual, it will revitalize the world's roots beneath. But take heed. These primeval woodlands are frequented by the cabals of Tzeentchen cultists, one of whom has summoned forth a hideous demonic army that rampages towards your position. Defend the jungle to ensure the ritual is completed. Okie dokie. So what, we got 2 locations rather than 3 this time? Oh wait, what's this? Imminent forced invasion. Enemy forces gathering strength here and will appear in 2 turns. will appear in 3 turns. Will appear in 3 turns. Okay, so this is the one that we go to. Alright, fair enough. And I'm actually kind of tempted to summon a few temporary giant wolves just to make the battle a little bit easier. Do that. We could always unsummon these guys right after, so. Can you go further with March Stance? Yes, you can. Alright, so you're gonna go here. Alright, I'm excited to fight some Tzeentchians, though, and especially since this army is untested and be a little bit different than our other armies. Drycha, you need to head to the scrap towers. You are a scrapper and all. Go here. And, ooh, wait. Nah, I was gonna say maybe ambush them, but it probably isn't, it doesn't really matter. You, just follow behind Drycha. I doubt that they're going to brave attacking Drycha, that's for sure. Alrighty, well that looks fine to me. Drycha's moved. ACCA, are you able to reach Skarsnik? Yes, you are. Alrighty, this was what we're doing for the rest of this episode. So, Waystalker, let's level you up, buddy. And let's do this. Oh, I'm taking my fingers here. This is gonna be fun. Let us get you. You have everything, don't you? Okay, let's get you, I guess, 2 points in Expeditious Endeavor, 1 point of Word of Loek. I don't care about the Word of Hoeth for you, because you're unlikely to actually get hit by any spells. ACCA, you're pretty much as good as you're gonna get with regards to your upgrades. I'd love to get you a Potion of Healing, but I don't believe we have one. And you have a Crown of Command, yeah, nothing... I suppose we could replace the Featherfoe Torque with a Iron Curse icon to make you more resistant to ranged fire. You do get focused down by ranged a lot, you know what? Yeah. And it's not like these guys have any air units. At least not that we can see. Alrighty then. Featherfoe Torque out. And Iron Curse icon in. And just to see here, ancillaries. You have magical attack, so you don't need the Lichbone Pennant. We could give you a War Banner and Standard of Discipline if we wanted to, but I'm not sure that we actually need to bother with any of that. Yeah, I think you're fine. Eternal Guard Commander, you don't have any Eternal Guard, and you are not likely to get any. Range increase, Hawk Companion... Wait. How do you guys have these Hawk Companions? I guess for the reinforcements range? Kind of a wasted on Tala, though. War Dancer Drummer, Young Stag is leadership, which is okay, but can't we just give you a Young Stag? You already have a Young Stag. Alright, fair enough. You don't deserve a Val's Anvil Smith, those are too rare and too good. We could give you a Hunting Hound, but I'm not actually sure that it works on you and can only work on Lords, maybe. Campaign Movement Range doesn't do anything for you. Nope, alrighty. We could give you some items. Do we want to give you any items? You know what? Let's give you the Crown of Command. Let's give you the Crown of Command. ACCA doesn't have Unbreakable anymore, because or Tala currently has Unbreakable, right? Yeah, so we could potentially, if ACCA gets badly damaged by something, use the Crown of Command on him. As weird as that seems. To give the only elf in her army the crown. But anyway, here we go. Time for a Skarsnicking. Which is a real word, I swear. What do we got in terms of the bonus army? 6 seconds as the reinforcements, lots and lots of boys. A massive pile of units, if nothing else. We will have to be careful due to that at least, because we don't have Treekin to absorb our hits. So we're gonna have to work for the fight. Alright, I'm excited, let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go again. I think that this will be a very interesting fight. We've got a lot of orcs and gobos to work our way through. The enemy has also brought 3 units of stone trolls, and I gotta appreciate the AI being smart enough to build stone trolls rather than weaker varieties, just because they stay in the battle line for quite a while, and the gobos certainly need anchoring points. Now, in terms of our setup here, we have 4 of our units, 2 spiders and 2 giant wolves hidden in the little forest here, though uncomfortably close to some pump wagons and squig hoppers. Tala's going to head, or ACCA rather, is going to head out front towards the enemy, but we're going to try to draw them in to this forest and fight them here. That would be ideal. This is going to be our main battle line, comprised of all 4 of our units of Dryads, 2 Spiders, and 2 Bears, while a secondary unit of 2 more Giant Wolves, 1 Spider and 1 Bear, are going to apply themselves wherever the battle essentially dictates that they're needed. And of course we have our Hawks, which still kind of man this army, but they should be able to hit some of those Goblin Archers, and there are certainly a fair few of them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 units of Archers, if nothing else, is fairly dangerous to our Dryads. A little bit less dangerous to ACCA, but to be fair, if all of them try to focus him down at the same time, still could be quite iffy. Also, there's Skarsnik to consider, but I don't think he'd win against ACCA in a one-on-one. His stats are pretty decent, 59-60 on that melee attack and defense. Certainly something to be concerned with, and he does have Skarsnik's and death juice as well. Not that the damage over time is going to be significant, but the damage reduction that it provides could be. Alrighty, well, ACCA's going to move in just by himself with the goal of drawing the enemy out and forcing them to hit him in the forest. We're going to get a Spirit Leech on us from that giant river troll hag, and it looks like ACCA has succeeded, and the boys and gobos are going to follow him into the woods. Alright, get a few more kits in there, crush a few more gobos, and then turn around once again. I believe that our main army, these guys are actually hidden from the enemy right now, or they were until the squig hoppers moved in, so now they should be able to spot him, and they're gonna go after ACCA. And they're gonna surround him, but now we should be able to move the rest of our forces in, and since the enemy is in the forest, we shouldn't be all that concerned. They will of course surround us, but we have a decent blob, we have Earth Blood available, and Life Bloom of course. Plus, if it comes down to it, we also do have the Menace below, though we definitely need the enemy to actually blob up in order to make good use of it. A little bit of a dark map to fight on, unfortunately, as it's difficult to see what's going on in the forest, but not to worry, we will be moving out our other faster moving units to fight outside where stuff is visible. So this will only last a few seconds. As in this part where you can't see anything other than the glow of our units. And there we go, our blob has moved in, stopped the enemy in its tracks, and the enemy will continue to try to move around our main force. We will, however, keep on waiting a little bit with our fast movers, just to give the enemy time to blob up around us in the trees, exactly where we want them. As we can see, a unit of Orc Boys, or 2 units of Orc Boys, are already in pretty bad shape. The enemy has been firing on us the entire time with its archers, though a lot of those are being stopped by trees, and those that get through probably aren't going to do too much damage to ACCA, though he has taken a second hit of that Spirit Leech, which I suppose is concerning, but on the other hand, it does match his color scheme, so he can't be too mad at it. Too bad we don't have the access to the Lure of Death, though. Just for matching the color scheme, if nothing else. Alrighty, let's see what's going on in the background. Finally, time to charge out of the first forest, and our spiders are going to directly charge an enemy unit of squig hoppers before they can even react to it. And of course, the spiders are going to be followed in by the more fragile but higher damage dealing wolves. Should be able to knock these guys out extremely quickly. Another unit of spiders is also charged in, going after the enemy range units, and it is time to go after as many enemy range as we can. We'll be moving our Great Hawks in shortly as well, and more of our Giant Wolves have been separated from that unit of Bears and Spiders, who are going to join the fray in the middle here, while the Giant Wolves get to work on everything else, and by everything else, I mean all those archers, together with the Hawks, hopefully. I also believe that ACCA is now fighting with Skarsnik in the middle of the fray somewhere. And they're both down there, and there's the Stone Trolls acting as Skarsnik's bodyguard as well. Alrighty, and it seems like every time they use those fanatics, they go through their own units much more than they go through ours, so frankly, they may as well keep using them. It's certainly not a bad thing. And yeah, there's Skarsnik down there, already taking a little bit of damage. ACCA is as well, but ACCA can actually heal himself. Alrighty, how are we doing back here? Looks like we've managed to stop at least a few of the enemy range units from firing. And the wolves are certainly working on it, although they are taking damage, a surprisingly decent amount of damage from the enemy Night Goblin archers, who have melee attack of 20, plus they do have poison as well. But yeah, as we can see, these two wolves have lost about a quarter of their HP at just fighting those Night Goblins. Fortunately, the latter have routed, so we don't have to worry about them doing more damage, but we do have to be careful charging in repeatedly like that. Spiders are still working it, though. As we can see, we've lost a few to the regular Night Goblins here, who are obviously going to do even more damage than the enemy archers are, but the spiders were needed there to distract all these piles of gobos while we did damage with our giant wolves. And another spider, oh, this was a spider unit that got badly beat up here, but all good. Over in the background, we've also moved in our great hawks and more giant wolves to keep attacking those range units, and as we see, most of the enemy range units are either badly damaged now or unable to fire, so a little bit more of that, and they will be silenced for good. Alrighty, and what do we have here? A Helm of Discord coming down on an enemy blob, and right in the middle of the biggest formation that we can find, we're also going to pop up that, I keep wanting to say menace below, the dwellers below, rather. And that should be freeing up a decent amount of area from our main fight, as well as around ACCA himself, as he wants to keep killing Skarsnik. Speaking of Skarsnik, he's now below half HP, and ACCA is still just fine and still has plenty more healing. Where that came from is of over 300 kills now and 40,000 damage due to that Dwellers Below, as well as repeated uses of the Awakening of the Wood, like here in the masses of enemies as they continue trying to foolishly attack us where we feel right at home. Alrighty, looks like some of those trolls are running away together with the gobos. The enemy's still taking massive amounts of damage in the background from our giant wolves, but once again, we're not coming out of it unscathed, and we do have to move around the enemy night goblins so that we don't lose any wolves, or at least don't lose more wolves. Hawks are also still flying around, working together in tandem with the spiders a bit, both together still not nearly as effective at killing these guys as the wolves are, but I guess there is one advantage to them. They do knock enemies around, which means that the enemy is unable to escape, at least. Unable to easily escape those units. More wolves are still just running around, but it looks like the balance of power is very much in our favor now at about 60-40. Skarsnik's death, which will probably happen soon, will also make sure that the enemy army probably routs. And now we're getting a little bit of help from the bears, not that ACCA has shown to need them, at least not against Skarsnik. And a few more hits should make sure that he runs away. Alrighty, and now our main line has essentially broken, as in we're not nearly as blobbed up around one location anymore, in fact sort of separated. Half of our army is going north towards the remnants of the forces here, all of these orc boys, goblins, and trolls, whereas the other half is now off chasing as much stuff as they can, or at least the fast movers that were in there, like the bears and the spiders are. We've also caught a unit of trolls here, and I guess one of the main goals of this particular battle, if we win, and it's looking like we will, is to actually kill the trolls, not let them escape, which is why we've got bears and hawks trying to fight them. After all, we want to be able to hopefully auto-resolve this army to death after defeating them, which is also another reason why it was good to wait and allow the enemy to move closer to the middle of the field, or as close as the forest enabled us to do so, such that we could actually chase some of these units off. Of course, a lot of the enemy units did remain relatively close to the edge of the field, so some of them will escape, but hopefully very few trolls. This one should be done for. Skarsnik has fallen, being chased down by ACCA, and the battle is ours. Beautiful. I gotta say that went pretty well. I mean, we still took damage, certainly, especially that one unit of spiders that was distracting stuff. This one only has 22 spiders remaining. A few of our dryads also got kind of beat up while fighting in the center, but of course we only had 4 units of dryads, so it's not surprising, considering the 4 units of dryads plus a few wild spirit extras were essentially facing off against, I don't know, like a stack and a half full of units by themselves, although I imagine most of the range units were wasting their time going after ACCA. Though, to be fair, Skarsnik was probably yelling at them to do so because he certainly needed the help. Anyway, obviously we're going to give chase and try to get every single thing killed that we can. Unless I'm mistaken, the Wa doesn't survive, does it? Or maybe it does survive. Maybe it partially survives? I wouldn't imagine a Wa should survive if the Lord gets killed or defeated in general. So if it doesn't survive, we really just need to catch the units that are not from the Wa, like these trolls, of course, and we're going to continue to do so, but I guess we don't need to see it, so let's just speed it up while we catch them. Once again, one of the great things about the this faction is all these fast-moving wild spirits are just so good at catching stuff that runs away. Certainly makes it a lot less time-wasty to go after another army afterwards and auto-resolve it, or the remnants of the army and auto-resolve it if most of the enemy units are dead. Alrighty, well, close victory for us, but considering there's no more other enemies left in this area, it really doesn't matter, and let's hope that enough damage has been dealt to the enemy army so that we can auto-resolve them. Let's find out. Alrighty, there we go. ACCA had to work for it a little bit, or certainly a little bit more than usual, I suppose, but at the end of the day, very much came out ahead. Well done. And no unit losses at that. About 25% losses, maybe 26% losses in our army. We're going to abduct the captives for the healing, and let's see if we can chase the army down. Yes, we can, and what we have here, defeated Skarsnik gives us ambush success and defense chance. Alright, ACCA can certainly benefit from additional ambush, and another Trickster Shard. Okay, seriously, what the heck is up with this campaign and getting all of the arcane items? I don't understand. Is this a bug? Is this actually a bug? Why? I've never had this happen before. 3 Trickster Shards, 3 Book of Ash Shores. There's something about the Wood Elves that just gives them all the arcane items. Very strange. You are going to destroy the army. And you should be able to auto-resolve this. Hopefully without as much damage as we took actually fighting. Like half as much damage. Kind of silly, but what can you do? Let's heal up a little bit more. Alrighty, well, with that, ooh, and another Forest Spirit, always a nice pickup. And with that, unfortunately, I think, yeah, we're definitely out of time. I'm gonna have to call this episode here. Next time, ACCA will continue marching down to Mount Gunbat. Hopefully he will be healed by then, but either way, I'm imagining that this place is worth quite a lot of cash and will be worth even more once we build the sacrificial grounds in the Fallen King Mountain. And of course, we'll be trading all of this to Vlad after that, so we'll power him up a little bit further. I'd also really love to tell him to take care of Kungor because it's a gold mine. But if he doesn't take it himself, I suppose we could always get a lord to do it. I'm not sure that it's actually worth wasting our income with him and just to do that, mostly because I feel like we need to save as much as we can for future Mortis engines, as I'd probably like to put those in at least several armies, as they're just too good, and especially since they will be combining with the Mortis engine effects on our treemen. Anyway, as I said, calling it here. Next time, Tala will be marching northward to deal with the rats to at least some degree. Durthu will continue destroying stuff around the Golden Order, but then we'll be jumping up to deal with the Blackstone Post and the Barrow Legion a little bit, since they randomly decided to declare war on us. Drycha will also continue trying to annoy both the Ogres, the Poxmakers, and the Caravan of Blue Roses, but most likely, most of the episode will be filled up with the Ritual of Qian, or the Jungles of Qian, rather. I guess in some ways it is a ritual of Qian, or at least getting rid of Qian, banishing Qian from the jungles, Tzeentch I mean, since we'll be fighting all of these Tzeentchian armies, which I'm excited for as well, as this will be the only time this army functions as it currently is, as this will all be transferred to several different armies shortly. Anyway, stay tuned for more trees. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.